BMW Z1, BMW's weird engineering experiment. The BMW Z1 is proof that BMW engineers occasionally get bored and decide to build something completely insane. Because in the late 1980s, BMW released a futuristic roadster with doors that disappeared into the bodywork. Actual vertically sliding doors. Even today, people stop mid-conversation when they see a Z1 open its doors. The Z1 was the first car in BMW's famous Z car lineup, and the Z stood for Zukunft, meaning future in German. And honestly, the car really did feel futuristic. It featured removable plastic body panels, advanced aerodynamics, and one of BMW's first uses of multi-link rear suspension technology. Under the hood sat the familiar 2.5-liter inline-six from the E30 325, producing around 168 horsepower.
Now, no, it wasn't brutally fast, but speed wasn't the point. The Z1 was about innovation, handling, and pure driving fun. BMW engineers even tilted the engine sideways by 20 degrees just so it could fit beneath the low hood line. Imagine explaining to someone that your engine is leaning because your car is simply too stylish for normal proportions. The Z1 eventually inspired cars like the Z3, Z4, and the legendary Z8. More importantly, it showed that BMW was willing to experiment and take risks. BMW E39 M5, the perfect sports sedan. Ask BMW enthusiasts what the greatest M5 ever made is, and many will immediately answer, the BMW M5. And honestly, they might be right. The E39 M5 perfected the formula of combining luxury, practicality, and performance into one complete package. Under the hood sat the legendary 5.0-liter S62 V8, producing nearly 400 horsepower. And unlike modern turbocharged engines, this naturally aspirated V8 had character. It revved to 7,000 RPM, sounded incredible, and delivered power in a beautifully linear way. BMW paired it with a 6-speed manual gearbox only, because back then, driving involvement still mattered more than touchscreen menus and ambient lighting options. Performance was outrageous for the time. 0 to 60 miles per hour took under 5 seconds, and de-restricted cars could reach nearly 300 kilometers per hour, which meant business executives could casually commute at supercar speeds while listening to classical music. But what truly made the E39 special was balance. It felt nimble, connected, and surprisingly lightweight compared to modern M5s. This was the last M5 before the cars became massive technological monsters weighing as much as small planets. The E39 still had soul. You felt every vibration, every steering input, every movement of the chassis. It talked to the driver constantly. That's why many enthusiasts still regard it as the greatest driver's BMW ever made. The BMW M3 GTR, the car so good it got banned. The BMW M3 GTR is basically automotive cheating perfected. Fans of Need for Speed Most Wanted instantly recognize it thanks to its iconic silver and blue livery. But in real life, the M3 GTR was even more legendary. BMW replaced the normal inline-six engine with a screaming 4.0-liter V8, producing around 382 horsepower. It was the first road-going M3 to feature a V8, and it transformed the already brilliant E46 platform into a race-bred monster. BMW created the GTR for American Le Mans Series homologation rules, which required manufacturers to sell road-going versions of their race cars. So, BMW built just enough road cars to qualify, then absolutely dominated the competition. The M3 GTR was so successful that rival teams complained the car was unfair, which is honestly one of the greatest compliments any race car can receive. BMW announced plans to build 10 road-going GTRs at around 250,000 euros each. In reality, only 6 were produced. Today, the M3 GTR is practically mythical. Most people will never see one in person, but its impact was massive. The car cemented the E46 generation as one of the greatest M3s ever built and created one of the most iconic racing BMWs in history.
BMW M Coupe, the clown shoe legend. The BMW M Coupe is living proof that weird cars often become the best cars. Nicknamed the clown shoe because of its strange proportions, the M Coupe began as a secret skunkworks project developed by passionate BMW engineers. Management initially doubted the car would sell, so the engineers were forced to keep development costs low by reusing many Z3 parts. But once you drove the car, none of that mattered. Early versions used the S52 inline-6, producing around 240 horsepower, while later versions received the legendary S54 engine from the E46 M3, producing over 300 horsepower.
Combined with a short wheelbase and lightweight body, the M Coupe became an absolute weapon on twisty roads. The car earned a reputation for being playful, twitchy, and occasionally terrifying at the limit. Inexperienced drivers discovered nearby bushes very quickly, but enthusiasts adored it because it felt raw and authentic. No unnecessary technology, no fake exhaust sounds, just a naturally aspirated straight six and rear-wheel drive. Today, clean M Coupes are incredibly valuable because people finally realized BMW accidentally built one of the greatest driver's cars ever.
BMW 1M Coupe, the modern cult hero. The BMW 1 Series M Coupe arrived during a period when many enthusiasts worried BMW was becoming too soft and too luxurious. Then BMW released this angry little turbocharged coupe and reminded everyone exactly how fun compact M cars could be. The reason it wasn't called the M1 was because BMW had already used that name for its supercar decades earlier, so the car became the awkwardly named 1M Coupe. Under the hood sat an upgraded version of BMW's twin-turbo N54 inline-6, producing around 335 horsepower. Purists initially complained because it wasn't a proper hand-built S engine from BMW M division. But once people drove the car, nobody cared anymore. The 1M borrowed suspension and differential technology from the bigger E92 M3, giving it incredible handling and balance. The compact wheelbase made it feel playful, aggressive, and slightly dangerous in the best possible way. It was manual only, rear-wheel drive, and wonderfully raw. BMW originally planned limited production, but demand exploded because everyone realized how special the car was. Today, the 1M is regarded as one of the greatest modern BMWs ever built, and prices have skyrocketed accordingly. BMW i8, the future arrived too early. The BMW i8 is one of the most misunderstood BMWs ever created. When it launched, some enthusiasts criticized it for using a tiny 3-cylinder engine. Others expected a hardcore supercar and were disappointed. But looking back now, the i8 was simply ahead of its time. BMW combined a mid-mounted 1.5-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine with an electric motor to create a futuristic hybrid sports car, producing around 357 horsepower. The i8 featured all-wheel drive, a lightweight carbon fiber chassis, and butterfly doors that made every owner feel like a millionaire arriving in a movie premiere. And honestly, the design still looks futuristic today. You could park one next to many brand new cars, and the i8 would still steal all the attention. What made the i8 truly important was its philosophy. BMW essentially brought hypercar technology to a much more affordable price point. Cars like the McLaren P1, Ferrari LaFerrari, and Porsche 918 Spyder used similar hybrid concepts, but cost millions. The i8 gave ordinary buyers a glimpse into the future of performance cars. And today, BMW's modern M cars are increasingly hybridized, proving the i8's vision was correct all along. Ironically, if the i8 launched today instead of a decade ago, enthusiasts probably would have appreciated it far more. From tiny bubble cars that saved the company to race cars so dominant they got banned, BMW's history is filled with incredible machines that shaped automotive culture forever. What makes these cars special isn't just speed or horsepower,
It's personality. Every car on this list changed BMW in some way. Some introduced new technology, some created entirely new performance categories, and others simply reminded the world that driving should always feel exciting. And honestly, that's what BMW has always done best when they're at their peak, building cars with character. Cars that make you smile, scare you slightly, and occasionally convince you that buying tires every 6 months is somehow a reasonable life decision.
Whether your favorite BMW is a screaming V8 M5, a futuristic i8, or a tiny bubble-shaped Isetta, one thing is clear. Few manufacturers have created such a diverse lineup of iconic cars. And the craziest part, BMW probably still has a few more legends left to build.